Start all over again. Okay. Does this happen every time? Like, does it never not?
That you're like, are we live?
Yeah, we're definitely live now. I'm gonna
I
mute
think
you.
I think
Okay.
there's always that.
A little
Like,
delay.
are we live?
Let's see. I did have it pulled up on YouTube, but then I didn't want it echo.
That's what I
I
was
did
doing,
not
right?
tweet.
Okay.
Okay, it's on. Tweet. Okay, wait. I got the premium, so I have to close the whole app. Okay. I got that free trial, for the premium where it keeps playing. Your girl's got the white noise at night. It's on. Okay. Okay. So we are here to wrap up the unkindness or An Unkindness of Ghosts by River Solomon. Erica, take it away. It's your channel.
Oh, okay. I thought since I had turned it over to you,
No.
Deidra.
Yeah.
Did you feel did you feel those skid marks?
Yeah. Not yet.
So, oh, I hate the earbuds. um, so hello, everybody. This is the last installment of An Unkindness of Ghosts, and we're not doing any reading sprints today. We're just gonna wrap up. I'm sure everybody has lots of thoughts. So, yeah. So who is here? I can't see the chat. So, Salter is here, Miss Awesome Saucy. So, hey, y'all. I guess where should we start? Yes, excited. Um, the last until the next one, the next time. Josh, yeah. So, I guess where should we start? I don't do ratings like star ratings, but it is one of my favorite books of all time. So what if you do star ratings? What would you rate it and why? Um,
Introduce yourself. Let
oh,
me.
oh yeah, let's start there. Deidra, see, that's why you should be in charge.
No.
So yeah, so let's do it in that order. Introduce yourself and your channel, and then tell us what star rating you would give it if you would give it a star rating and why. Who wants to go first? We all know who I am. Arri, you're muted.
I'm Arri. I am on the channel Boricua Reads. I have also participated in a lot of Latinx Heritage Month stuff, and I am hosting a couple of things coming next month, so y'all check that out. So, yeah.
I'm Emmarae from Emmarae Empowered, and just started my channel, so I only have like a couple videos, but it's fun there. And this was a reread for me, and I absolutely loved it still. And I rated it 5 stars both times.
Hi, I'm Josh from Josh's Bookish Voyage. I talk about the stuff that I read, like everyone, I guess. I really like this book. It's my second time reading it. I gave it 4.5 stars. I don't know how much I should go into why just yet. I think it is the perfect kind of science fiction book in the sense that it creates a really fascinating world and uses that to explore some really important themes and characters, I think. So that's why I think it works really well.
Yes. And I'm Deidra. My channel is Shade Tree Reads. This is my first time reading An Unkindness of Ghosts, but my second River Solomon's work. And I literally I think I still actually have 2 pages to go, but it was time. It was time to go. I'm pretty sure I need to give this 5 stars, but I want to meditate and marinate through this conversation and understand what the hell Cool J just happened here. Because I don't know. That was a lot. That was a lot.
I think I gave it 4 stars just because of the ending. That ending let me down a little bit. So,
Yeah.
I feel you. I don't know, because it went left when it zigged when I zagged, and I wasn't ready.
The ending for me, yeah, it was pretty lackluster. But I feel like it leaves it open for
to interpretation.
For interpretation. And I feel like it also leaves it open for another book, hint, hint, River Solomon. No pressure from the fandom. I was in the group chat getting cooked over Giselle. So that was an experience.
Listen, I am still team Giselle, even though she is mean. Everything y'all have to say against her is true. Mm-hmm. It's true. It's all true. However, I still am not mad at her. Like, I don't hate her. It's a better way to put that.
Yeah, no, neither do I.
I don't hate her. I just dislike the way that she made me feel throughout the book. That's all.
Yeah.
And that's fair. That's fair.
I don't think feelings hard, like deep in my chest, like, girl, you comment like, really, I want to do some things to you that would hurt, but I don't hate you still.
I think that I feel like Giselle was. I feel like she was really. I think I said it before. I think she was meant to be Aster's yang, so to speak, and everything that Aster didn't understand or felt that she couldn't do, Giselle was there to do that and to speak their truth, just overall. That's how I felt. And Giselle is such a complex. I think she's a complex character, more complex than we give her credit for, than just being that outside, hothead. And we know that she has mental health issues. It's all written, very well. We can see it. But I think there's so much more underlying with Giselle, and the reason why she's in this story, and the reason why she provokes such strong emotions and thoughts. So I don't know.
Bree kills me with the literary names. But that's not a lie. Like,
no,
I would want to go toe to toe with Giselle. Like, you burned my mama's journal. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Yeah. I said it. It's there. It's out there. But
the journal part hurt my feelings.
Like,
mine too.
Like,
yeah,
I want to take a hammer to your hands at this point. But like, I still wouldn't. I don't know.
Yeah. Giselle does have my heart, though.
Yeah, she does.
What do y'all think? Who is your favorite character?
I think Aster, honestly. I know she's not the most, not the easiest person when it comes to sharing her feelings, but I really liked her. I liked her focus on the science and her just wanting things to just be straightforward, and how she talks to people. So yeah.
I think Loon was my favorite character. Even though we never like got her perspective on things, I just find it fascinating that she was able to keep so many journals and hide like codes and riddles within them to talk about what she was studying, what she was figuring out, in hopes that maybe Aster would figure it out or maybe someone else would figure it out. I just think that's so interesting. And how sneaky she was. And so smart. I don't know. I really loved whenever we got little peeks of Loon.
I'm glad you said that Loon was your favorite character, because I think readers forget that Loon is a character.
Oh, for sure.
Just because she's not like on the page. She's on the page.
Oh yeah.
Not like Aster or Giselle or Aunt Lucine or whoever. It's like it was. But yeah, you're right. She's such a smart individual. And oh wow. Loon is one I wish we could actually see a little more of. And get her backstory. Yeah, I want Lieutenant's backstory too. I think there's some kind of connection there.
I don't care. I just Lieutenant can kick rocks. Like, I do not care.
I feel like Lieutenant is her pappy.
Not
I really
happy.
And people thought that I was crazy when I first talked about this, and I was like, I think Lieutenant is her relative, and that's why he's so nasty to her. Like, yeah, I think he went below deck a lot.
Yeah. There has to be a pleasure center somewhere on Matilda.
Yeah, I believe that 100%. And
it's Aunt Millicene for me. She's my favorite. It's just she's always the clear, blunt voice of reason. I think I like her the way she was caring in her own way, which I can see how. I mean, she cared for people in a medical sense, in like a community matriarch sort of way, I felt like. And I like how she sort of let Giselle, I guess, sort of be herself. From what I could tell, she didn't like try to beat it out of her or whatever it is that we're trying to beat out of Giselle, but like she sort of let her be it. And same for Aster, like, because at a point they talked about how she was late to speak and stuff like that, and it didn't seem like Millicene was too pressed about it. It's like she'll talk when she talks or whatever it is. So she kind of let people be whoever.
That's Aunt Millicene. I always said that Aunt Millicene was mean. And after reading it again, I'm like, she's not really mean. She's still like a victim of her circumstance. But she's teaching them survival for their circumstance. And that is part of her being mean, if you will. She's like, you got to do this, like with the guard, you let him get up, you didn't kill him. And she was just like, you got basically do better. And
yeah, she was like, finish the job.
Yeah.
Like, dude, if you're gonna go there, go all the way. And I that's when she captured my heart. That's when I knew.
And she's such a strong, I mean, all of the characters I think are strong, be it positive or negative, they're all strong.
Yeah.
And even what's her Vivian, who we don't see a lot of, but everybody talks about how they want to give Giselle hands. Let's talk about giving Vivian some hands.
Vivian.
She got her hands though.
I know. She got hands in a major way. She got the hell beat out of her. Oh my gosh. And what's it, Pippi and Mabel? Their relationship was like the only positive or even remotely healthy relationship. And and they were always like touching and being loving, affectionate and loving with one another. So since I brought up relationships, let's talk about relationships. So there was a scene where Theo and Aster were together. Did y'all think that they were together in any other instances other than
prior to that?
Yeah.
No. Just because Aster couldn't define their relationship prior to that. Well, not to say like I think if they had been, she wouldn't have been able to question it. I think if they had been intimate in that way or whatever you want to call it, she would have been able, like, not been able to, but like it wouldn't have been as up in the air. Like, does he love me? Does he not? Like, whatever.
Yeah, that moment is like a watershed moment for their relationship, which is why it would seem weird if that happened before.
Do you think it was necessary to have that in there?
Nah.
Yeah, I do, because like because you think of intimacy in different ways. Like they had seen, well, at least Theo had sort of, I think I might be just reading too much into it, but I think that at least Theo had seen Aster naked before. So there wasn't like, and I think maybe, obviously because of Theo's spirituality, I guess you would say, that she probably hadn't seen him undressed at all. So like that was the level of their um intimacy that that like me, somebody else's relationship, just seeing each other naked might have been one thing, but for them that was nothing, because of the medical situation. But like with that, in that setting, in that context, it was different, I think. And so without that, are they friends, are they more, you don't get to know the nature of their relationship as far as whether it's romantic or platonic or whatever. I think that's just how my brain went with it.
That's fine. Go ahead, Josh.
I agree with Deidra. And another reason why I think it was so important was just that their relationship is a crucial part of the narrative overall, and so like we need. I think it was important to the author, to River Solomon, to share that moment to understand, give us context of their relationship.
So I kind of felt that was, although I appreciated it, I didn't particularly think that it was necessary to have in. Just because prior to, we could see a level of intimacy between the two of them. Like when they were in the field deck and she had fixed some dinner for him, and even though he didn't stay, there was a level of intimacy there. And then even when she got injured and ran to him for that, there was that level where he was like, I know, or River Solomon said that Theo knows every scar on her body and where it came from. and just other interactions that they had. I didn't mind the scene. I just didn't think that it was like it needed to happen.
Yeah,
The
I
first
agree.
time I read it, I thought it was necessary as well. And then the second time I read it, I didn't think it was necessary. So I don't know what's happening there with me, I guess. At the first time, I was like, yeah. And then the second time, I was like, why? Like, so I guess I got to reread it again and see what decision I think. Because I'm not sure why I thought differently. But also, the first time I read it, I hadn't paid attention to their ages.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second time reading it, I did. So maybe that was what it was. I'm not sure. I don't know how to answer the question other than first time, yeah, second time, nah.
What are their
Yeah.
ages? I don't know.
They're
He's like wildly older than her, right? Like he's like 10.
He's like not quite that old. He is older.
I feel like when he was like 20 or something, she was like 16 or 13.
They met when she was a teenager, and he was in his early 20s. Yeah,
Yeah.
he was an adult.
Yeah.
Reading it the
So-
second time, that kind of weirded me out.
Yeah,
But,
but I mean now they're both adults.
that's true.
So
That's true.
because Aster is 20 something.
Yeah.
25, exactly.
25.
Remember, she
Yeah.
was born during the first blackouts.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's right. 25.
So then
And
he'd be in his 30s.
Yeah, so maybe he is about
Way in
10
his
years
30s.
older than her, because I feel like he was in his 20s. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
he
you
was
also
like
have to,
almost 30
yeah,
when they met.
yeah. So,
but you also
Like-
have to,
Go ahead, Arri, I'm sorry.
all right, you also have to think he is also a child prodigy type of deal. So, because remember, he was the one who built the heart at like 13 or something like that. So maybe he was possibly about 35, 36. I don't think he was older than that. But he was working. Like, he literally was working since he was like a young teenager. So probably not that much older than her.
Yeah, like I remember that about him being a child prodigy. I think he might have been young for being in the position that he was in as far as the Surgeon General, but he was a lot older than Aster.
Yeah.
mhm.
I did not notice that part. I feel like I should have noticed after 2 times reading it that was a part of the story, the age difference. I don't know, that never stuck out to me.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize it until it was like one of the lives. Someone in the comments or someone on the live had mentioned their ages, and I was like, oh snap, yeah, I should pay attention to that.
I didn't pay attention to it.
Oh.
I knew that there was a difference in age, but I don't know. I thought that they were closer in age.
I'm gonna see if I can find it.
But that's probably not the case, because now that I'm thinking about it, I think you're right, Emmarae, that he was older when they first, in his 20s, when they first met, when she was just a teenager. So I have to take a break to go get my coffee because it's ready. I can smell it, and I'm gonna leave y'all to play. So
But we talked about the favorite character.
least favorite.
Yeah, but
But
okay, if it's not Giselle. Yeah, okay, give me
There's
Giselle
really
and
only
who
one
else?
other. I mean,
Like who else? The lieutenant. They're low hanging fruit, though. I mean, I hated. I didn't really care for that one guard that was just like such a jerk. I forgot his name or how they described him, but like, I mean, the lieutenant. Like, we're not supposed to like him. Like, there's literally nothing likable. Did y'all have any other standouts? that you really didn't like? Or if you didn't
Yo,
like Giselle and you want to, give your spiel as to why, I'm open.
honestly, I was it for a while. I did not like Theodore. I did not like Theo because for some reason it took him so long to grow some cojones.
You're not wrong. I feel like, yeah, you're right.
It was like,
Oh,
wait, you wait till like chapter 26 or 27 to say, oh, I will fight for you? Trash. Throw the whole person away.
yeah, I mean, it did take I mean, he was so religious. I just couldn't see why that didn't push him further to help or go further to help Aster because he knew and felt how wrong his uncle was. So I just, even still to the end, I couldn't understand how he reconciled that within himself to not, I mean, I guess he probably felt like he was doing as much as he could, but
Was he really?
really, was he? I don't know. Karen Samantha. Yes.
Samantha, Karen, Samantha. Yes, I'm here
Got
for
it.
it.
I think there's a strong case to be made for Karen Samantha, not just because of the obvious, but because she honestly thinks she's a good person, and that she's doing good. Like that's the real frustration. Like I think of the most hate. Like it's that dichotomy that makes it so easy to hate her. Like with the
Yeah.
lieutenant, like I don't know if he really believes maybe he does believe. Like he's just so deep into it. It's just like it's hard. It's not the same dichotomy. I feel like as with her.
Yeah, I feel like I got like whiplash reading the part with Karen Samantha because it was like, oh, you're helping now? What? You're trying to be nice now? Like that was just such a weird part and odd that then we never saw her again, which I guess is good that we didn't see her again and no point to see her again. But that whole part was just like, what are you doing?
And it's weird because when this book was written, 2017, I think it came out, 2017. I need a new book. My pages are falling out. So, I think it was 2017, but that was like right when the whole Karen thing started like really hitting the scene. And I was like, and when I read it, I was like, oh, a real live Karen. So ever since then, like I have been like, she's Karen. I even marked it in my book, Karen Samantha. I marked her as a Karen. But yeah, I'm glad, and that's when this whole thing, because now we're seeing Karens, what is it, Karens in the wild and stuff like that, videos. That woman reminded me of the incident in the bird park in New York. The two Coopers. That reminded me of that, where she's like, oh, I'm going to tell the guard, which she did. And I'm like, she's going to get this child killed because of her, what's the word I'm looking for? Entitlement. And that she feels that she should be walked back and, taken care of, which I had a whole problem with, because how the hell did you get down there? You got down there by yourself?
Right. It's like, bitch, I work here. What are you doing here?
Yeah.
Right. You know, y'all got nice plush decks upstairs, you know, and you want to come down here with us? Really?
Y'all got parks and stuff? What? Go home.
Y'all shut off the heat to
Yeah.
us in
For your
order to
pool.
make sure y'all had your stuff.
Your swimming pool, bitch. Not shower water, but the swimming pool. Get out of here.
Oh,
And the ice
don't
skating
forget
rink.
and the ice skating rink. Yeah.
Skating rink. That's the other thing I got. Yeah.
I mean, so I took all sorts of offense to her.
Oh yeah.
And I don't blame Aster for being like, no. Right? Like,
This is not how this works.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Like, if I help you, then I'll be in trouble because then, like, she'd be walking around where she's not allowed to walk around. And yeah, I wish we knew why she was down there. At one point, I think the first time I was reading it, I thought that maybe she was like a reporter or something. Or, I don't know. I don't know.
I think it actually says in the book that some of the upper deckers like to come down to the field decks and walk around before everybody starts their shifts and stuff.
Right, yeah. Which is like, y'all probably got like nice meadows up there and, you know, botanical gardens. What's going on?
I just didn't understand it. Like,
Do you think it was like commentary on like tourism?
Ooh, that's a good point.
I'm
That's
just
Yes,
like, okay.
definitely. Because
Because
right
why
now,
was she there? Like,
Yeah, I'm
seriously.
gonna write that down. That's a good point, DJ.
it's all them white people in Puerto Rico right now making me mad, walking around with no mask, just doing whatever they want. Like, what are y'all doing here? Got the natives up there throwing masks to them in their car windows and stuff. What we not gonna do?
that's a good point, Deidra.
I just like, because I mean, where else would you go on that ship?
To your ice skating rink.
Out here during the
but
penny
they're
raid.
like used to it. You know, they're used to it. It's something that they always have access to. They're going somewhere exotic.
Oh wait, go down to Salter's comments.
Oh wait,
I know why she was there.
listen.
Salter.
He's been saying that. He's been saying that since like Samantha Karen showed up. But yeah.
The tea is hot.
Yes. And to be honest with you, when she was down there and she was like, oh, hello? Who's there? I imagined later, once I figured out that she was an upper decker, I imagined that she was like putting herself together.
Yeah. I ain't got time.
Right.
So, like, she didn't want to be caught. She was like, who's there? Hello? Who's there? And I'm just like, yeah, you putting yourself together. So, getting the twigs out of your hair. That's what I was thinking. So what up? Go ahead, Deidra.
I was trying to think. Did y'all have a favorite scene? Because a favorite scene. I don't know if I am drinking already. I don't know if I told the group.
Oh, a favorite theme.
A scene.
Scene. Ooh, favorite scene. There's so many.
Yeah. Do you have like a ranking?
Favorite scene. If anybody wants to go, feel free, because I am thinking.
My favorite scene, of course, is after Theo finally grows a pair and shoots his uncle with that poison. It's like the best part ever in the book.
Yeah. Um, hmm. Definitely the what some people would call a riot, BLM.
Yeah.
Riot. That was definitely one of my favorites. And although it hurt my heart and it made me angry, but I understood it, was when Giselle just went crazy in the botanarium and burned everything. And I was just like, I hate that you're doing this, but let it out. And yeah, I think those are definitely like my favorites.
I think mine is the scene with child Esther with the camera.
Oh
And
yeah.
just how that whole scene made me feel. Like, oh damn. Like I could see
Yeah.
as a kid on a spaceship finding this thing and just blowing through all the film. Like I could see myself doing that. And I could see I felt like I could feel Aunt Millicent's emotions and disappointment and whatever that
Mhm.
what I mean, there's so many things that I would feel as being the owner of that camera as well. And that really hit me. I like that scene.
Yeah. That was a good scene because I loved it when she said she took a picture of her foot, and then for asymmetry purposes she took another picture of her other foot, and then she just kept going. And I remember reading that and I was like, ooh, you're gonna get in trouble. I remember thinking that.
Yeah,
But I was like,
that's
it's
what.
it's adorable because that's what kids would do.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
They would.
and and then to try and explain to a child that you can only take how many, one or two once a generation or something like that.
Generation, yeah, that's what it was.
And to try and explain that to a child. I mean, good for Aunt Lucy to think that Astor would understand and just get it and just take one picture and put it away. Um, but I don't know of any child that would, after they saw that would be like, "Ooh, I'm gonna put this away now."
Yeah, I just saw it
Yeah.
unraveling. I didn't know how Aunt Millicent would react to that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I mean, I think it was on par for the in context. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Um,
I missed it. I mean, it never came up later, so I figured I was wrong. What are we talking about here? I missed this comment. I'm sorry, I didn't catch the context of it. It kind of jumps around and I get lost. Sorry.
oh, you're
uh,
fine, Deidra. Um,
uh,
you're,
yeah.
I mean, your man in the controls much better than I would. Because I'm trying to, there's a question that I saw. They have some discussion questions, and there was a discussion question that I saw that I'm looking for, and I can't
Okay.
find it. So, but
Okay.
y'all go ahead and chat while I see if I can find this question.
Well, I guess I can give my favorite moment. Problem is,
Oh, you didn't do that. Sorry, Josh.
I don't know if I have one that's the problem. If I'm not thinking about it while I'm reading it, it's hard for me to recall back because there's nothing that stands out as being, oh, this moment is the best. And so I'm very indecisive. I think maybe the moment where Aster and Theo are talking, and I think this was early like in the relationship, and she's like, "Do you think you're smarter than me or something?" And he's like, so it was something else. The wording where he's like, do you think you're as smart as me? Do you think I'm as smart as you? Like, and he's like, no, I don't think you're as smart as me. And then he's like, I think you're smarter. I don't know. That moment, I guess, is one that sticks out as having a very positive experience. It's a close, which I don't know which scene that was, though, is the problem. It's the only part of the scene I remember.
I agree with that one. That's the only one that like really sticks out where I was like, "Ooh, I like that." But I also don't think that I had a favorite scene. I think I was just absorbing the story and processing it, but I don't think I can label a whole scene as my favorite. But well, okay, maybe. I personally loved the ending.
Oh, really?
I loved it so much.
I swear I was torn between saying the ending in that moment.
Go ahead, Deidra.
No, I'm just trying to say, okay, if you're in the chat and you have not finished the book, leave now. We don't want to be spoiled. Please.
You just like get out.
Get out. Don't come for me in the comments later on the playback. Leave. Okay. Y'all tell me what happened because I'm not quite finished. Tell me. So the lieutenant got stabbed. Giselle said, "You can't take me alive." And then what? That's where I left. Tell me what else happened.
Esther.
Go ahead, Arri.
So Esther goes over, talks to Giselle. Giselle tells her, "Hey, don't remember me fondly. Don't miss me. just don't like me. None of that. Just
damn.
I don't want you to be happy. Nothing."
I didn't expect anything else from her, but okay.
Giselle went out in a blaze of glory. She really did. She went out like she wanted to go out, like for real. And so actually, you're really at the end.
I am. I just got a couple pages left, but we had to get started, and I know what's going down. I just
so Aster leaves the ship.
Because she figured out that there was a shuttle.
Yeah, she leaves the ship with Giselle's body and her mother's bones, which was weird. And then she finds a habitable place, and she lands there, and she buries Giselle and her mother, and she's like there.
Where's Theo?
So Theo told her to go.
Yeah.
And then he said, "You'll be back." So question mark there.
Wait, he said that or she said that? I don't remember.
I think he said that because I remember this time writing a question mark and then writing how. How do you know she's going to be back? Let me see.
How and why? Like, I feel like this is a one-way trip on a little escape pod.
She was
I don't know. That's what it
yeah,
like.
he said there are people here that need my help. You will be back. It's no matter.
Wow.
Yeah, so it leaves it the whole thing leaves it up for like another another something or other, another short story. No pressure, Rivers Solomon.
I listened to the ending. That ending when she gets on the spaceship and leaves like 3 or 4 times to try and make sure I was understanding what happened, because the transition from the spaceship to the world I didn't quite understand. But I'm curious if there's going to be another book. Would it be focusing on Aster's life, which would be a very different story, or would it return to the Matilda and maybe tie in to Aster?
Yeah, like would Aster turn into the next ghost of like everyone being like, "Oh, Aster died weirdly. We don't know."
Yeah, my question is, so nobody knew how Loon died.
Yeah.
And
were the bones just chilling in the escape pod when she got there? That's some bullshit. I'm mad. Y'all,
I took it that she was trying to escape or something, and that something went wrong and she died.
I don't know.
It was in space. It was still just chilling for her to unlock the code, and because she was like, it's the only one that's locked. It's the only one that's fueled up or whatever it was.
Yeah, it was the only one, and I kind of feel like Giselle's mom was not trying to escape.
Yeah,
I
wasn't she
think-
trying to do repairs and it was like the radiation had been so bad?
Yeah, that's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
And
And that she knew she was gonna die. Sorry.
right, and that's kind of where she was. But I don't think that she was trying to escape. Because why would I mean that? Which brings to my mind, if she was trying to escape, would she really and truly leave Aster?
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to remember what the context was, but I don't think she was trying to leave Aster. I just don't remember. Even though it's 3 times,
Yeah.
I've forgotten exactly.
I'm pretty sure it was just within all of the repairs and her trying to like redirect. And then like, yeah, what Salter was saying with being overcome by the exposure.
Yeah, Salters, she was trying to escape,
Here we go.
but there was a repair.
I gotta drink to that, y'all, because I am just like, y'all mean to tell me Theo didn't get on that ship with her and they didn't live happily ever after?
I don't
Well,
know that. I don't know that they would have lived happily ever
Did he
after.
say he was gonna take? I mean,
Did you-
y'all, Lieutenant's dead or no?
Who? What? Yeah.
He's dead. He's gone.
I mean, did you really expect those two to end happily together?
I mean, not happily ever after, but like, I didn't. You mean to tell me you got all that audacity and nerve just to like send her off after that? Like, I'm sorry.
That's love for you.
Hold
If you
on.
love someone, let them go.
He has a
I
huge
guess. Hold
seat
on
of
one
power,
second.
and like he has to make use of that. He can't leave without using his power to try and change something. Whether or not it'll be effective is a different thing, but
Oh yeah.
it seems like a kind of selfish to be able just to let everything be the way it is.
So now that, okay, having said that about Theo saying that we'll meet again later. So do you think Theo is going to get them on the right course and get them to the planet where Aster is? I mean, we don't have the answer, but just hypothesizing.
Matilda's still moving, though.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
it seems like that's the most logical conclusion based on what he said.
because I think that Theo, because there was like the push and pull of power, and Theo could care less about power. And
Yeah, I didn't think he cared about
in the
that.
sense that his uncle cared about power. So I think Theo would be the one to like get everybody together and live. It's somewhat of a peaceful coexistence. I think he would be that person. So I'm just curious as to should there be, a follow-up to this, if there would be an answer.
So, like,
Mhm.
I mean, I probably just need to finish, but like, Lieutenant's dead. So, did y'all get a sense of the sovereignty crumbling as a result of his death?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Not really, because it seems like it would just go next in line, like it would just continue on and then be like, something crazy happened down there, I don't know, and then everyone would, like continue on, unless Theo could get like the lower decks on his side or like try to get everyone to like band together and overtake the ship, I guess, but I don't know.
Isn't Theo next?
Is he?
How is that established?
I thought that he. I could be wrong, but I feel like he was. And there was that issue because I feel like he would have been next had his father not stepped down, and then it went to Nicolaus, and then basically I feel like Lieutenant just kind of usurped the power, and that's how he got it.
Mm-mm. Listen, I need to finish. I didn't get a sense of everything crumbling
Oh, you'll
where
get
I'm
there.
at. You know what I mean? As far as
There's-
like the
it gets
ruling
like
order,
yeah.
the ruling order of it all. I didn't get that sense yet. Or I mean, like I said, I only got like a couple pages left. But so
That's-
y'all feel like Theo's just probably gonna step into that role.
I don't know. I find it hard to believe that the upper people will let someone who killed their leader take over.
I don't know because we didn't see the upper deckers like all into lieutenant though. We didn't see that.
Yeah, but they're pretty deep in their religious superiority
Yeah.
complex.
Well,
Their
and then,
line
yeah,
is of them being
and
superior.
having said that, you know, Theo is the embodiment of that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Could he just be like, God told me to do it?
Right.
Would they then be like,
Yeah,
That part.
oh,
True.
you're
right.
right. Like, is that why he wanted
Yeah.
to stay? Because he knew he just
Yeah.
had to go upstairs and be like, I was moved, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
it was right that I did this, and then everyone would be like, oh gosh, yeah.
But they've
And
already
he'd be
said
empowered.
that, like his hands, are from the utmost high. So I think that they've already been indoctrinated, so
Right.
to speak, to
Yeah.
believe that. And
Mhm.
yeah, Theo, all Theo has to say is that these hands,
Right.
whatever,
Right.
I just got the
know.
sense that
These hands.
Lieutenant had campaigned for that position up until the previous sovereign passed away from whatever that radiation poisoning or whatever it was. That remember it was kind of like in
Selenium.
the beginning or like middle. Yeah, yeah. So like it seemed very sudden because Lieutenant hadn't been sovereign leader until for very long up until the end of the book, maybe a few weeks if I'm understanding.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
this
not long
whole
ago.
book
Yeah.
takes place within like what? I think
Not
what's
long.
the
I don't.
timeline for the whole book? It's not long at all, is it? Maybe a
But
couple months?
I don't think that there's not really a time frame. I feel
Yeah.
because I mean it's space time. It's
It's so warped.
Yeah.
so
It doesn't still feel like years though. Maybe over the course of a year, like what
maybe
we think of as of a year.
right. I don't know. I mean, it
Yeah.
seems really fast.
Yeah, it seems really, really like within a month's time, it
Yeah,
feels like to
because
me.
we know that Sovereign is sick for a little bit of the time,
Hmm.
and
Mhm.
then Lieutenant gets promoted,
Yeah.
and then he's not even because soon after he's promoted, that's because Flick's foot hasn't healed yet.
Right.
Yeah.
It's still bloody.
So yeah, so at the very beginning of the book, so it's a relatively short period of time. So Flick's foot is amputated like in the first or second chapter,
The
Yeah.
first chapter.
and then the uprising happens at the end, and where Flick is killed is like
Mhm.
right right together. So
Mhm.
I wouldn't even maybe not even because their foot is still or the stump is still bloodied and
Mhm.
stuff. So maybe even like a few days, a week maybe in our time.
I feel like something like that. Well, think about it in terms of head count points. Like there's a few times like Giselle misses head count for like 3 days or something
Hmm.
at one point. Aster misses a couple in there somewhere. I'm thinking maybe like 2 weeks time
Yeah.
from
Definitely.
the beginning from Flick's foot being amputated till
Yeah.
the end. I don't know. It's just wild how I didn't feel like anything was rushed, maybe except for that one. I don't know. I say that. I'm gonna take that back. Rushed is not the right word, but I can't replace it currently. I mean, let me just. I don't know.
I feel like, yeah, maybe about 2 weeks because when I think the Sovereign dying took like maybe 2 chapters by itself because there wasn't an official report till like 5 o'clock that night. So when they did do the official announcement or whatever, that was one day, but it was like there were like 2 chapters after Aster found out that the Sovereign had died. So it took a couple of, chapters there. So maybe.
Good point. And Josh.
Look at this Josh put up here.
Yeah.
But you're the one who put it in the idea in my mind that there'd be a second book. Now my mind's racing, and what am I supposed to do?
You'll never take me alive. I don't know.
That's putting that picture in my mind, like Theo is not the same person. Because he's now overtaken by power.
Driven by like religious fervor. Like I like the idea of religion being a fundamental crux of the story.
Yeah.
You need something like that for some kind of important theme for her for the River Solomon to explore.
Yeah. That
I like a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that you need to reach out to River Solomon, Josh. And
wait, say that again? Sorry. Okay.
Why?
I don't know.
Really?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Salter is always in the comments being salty.
Why?
I am tickled.
We're gonna put Salter in timeout.
I know, right?
I'm just too.
And we need to put him in the box.
Where is Ashley? Put you in timeout.
Yeah. That's crazy. So
I need a refill on that note. I'll be right back.
So what about the decks? I know Salter and a couple of other people were in the chat in the Discord, and they were trying to figure out the decks. What about the decks? This is my third go around, and I haven't figured them out yet.
That was our discussion.
I need a map.
Yes.
It was this discussion that we had that made me feel like it was still justified to give it 4.5, because while I loved the general world building of the science fiction side, I felt like it wasn't enough to create a clear picture. And based off what y'all said, it really helped me figure that out.
Yeah, definitely. I had a bunch of different ideas for it swimming around in my mind, and that kind of made my mind hurt. Trying to figure it out, that I almost wonder, like, when Rivers was writing it, did they even have a map in their mind? Or did they have like a general idea and then just kind of wrote it, and that's why there's no map? Or is the ship so not how we would think a ship would be one unit? Like, is it blocky? You know what I mean? Like, is it not like a smooth, like, oh, this is a spaceship, it's like a tunnel? Is there like little branches of the ship and everything? I don't know. It hurts my head to try to think about it. And how you can fall from a level to a level. Like,
I guess I pictured like sorry.
No, you're good.
No, go ahead, Josh.
Like a flying saucer, but it doesn't make sense. That would never actually happen.
Yeah.
Like a big cylinder, but it can't just be that.
Right? Yeah.
I kind of pictured it like as a a spoken wheel kind of thing. Because I mean, if you, I don't know how this came or why this came to my mind. Probably because I was moving my bike, my bicycle, not my motorbike, from one place to the other, and I was looking at my tire and rim, and just like looking at the spokes and how they're parallel. And I thought, oh, the ship, like the decks, how they switch, how they flip over. And I was just looking at my bicycle wheel spokes. And that's kind of how I looked at the ship, that from that center point, and you have the spokes that come from there. So
on the one hand, I kept, unfortunately, like it's not even realistic, but I kept picturing it as a blimp shaped thing. I don't know why. A big metal blimp.
Yeah.
And then on the other hand, I feel like somebody mentioned the, was it Interstellar? That movie?
That's what I
So
was thinking the whole time.
you know that I don't know if it's a carnival ride or if it's just something we see when we look at NASA like simulations where they have you standing in this thing, kind of like this, and it flips you around, it does all these things, and you're just it's just a one person.
Yeah.
I
I'm
know which one you're
thinking
talking about.
I
Yeah.
envision it like that, sort of like with a ring that they kind of spin independently of each other, and you have one that kind of only does this way, one that only goes this way, one that goes this way, and those are the decks. But then I don't know how many of those you could fit, to make
Right.
it. Like I really want to know what this ship looks like because I feel like with the decks rotating the way they describe that, and then the way they describe the baby, I need to know how that is set up. Like I need a
Yeah.
blueprint or something. I just want to know. I can't wrap my mind around it because there's staircases, and then there's also like service hatches and ladders, and there's shortcuts, and there seems like there's a central center, but then maybe that there's different levels to the center, and then there has to be a top that's a firm top because of, I forgot what it's called now, but the part where Giselle was hiding in kind of like close to the end in part 3 or whatever, that had a
Yeah.
glass
Had
dome
windows,
or
right?
whatever. Yeah, so there is a top or like an outermost layer that you can see the galaxy somewhere.
Yeah. And
Mm.
that was, I'm gonna switch gears for a second. For what's his name? Sovereign Nicolaus. He was sleeping over something, like you could see the stars.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was like, that's probably how he got his poisoning.
Yeah.
And so Loon was looking at the stars too. So somehow, some way, those two things are connected. I just don't know how they're connected or how Loon got to see the stars, because nobody else could see the stars.
Which is creepy when you really think about it.
Right.
I guess I
So
didn't understand they didn't have Loon's body until close to the end of the book. Like I thought there had been a whole, like I didn't think it was a fact that she went missing. I thought they knew she died. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I didn't understand that they kind of just had to come to their own conclusions until later in the book, and I don't know, I feel some type of way about that.
yeah, when I read it, and I was like, oh, so Loon was there the whole time, but she wasn't
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But how did no one know?
Maybe because it was like a low deck woman who disappeared no one asks any questions or really cares. You just have to continue on moving through life. And
Yeah,
it was
Nobody maintains those
maybe a
escape
guard.
pods or nothing.
Yeah,
But
maybe like a guard got her. And
yeah,
they were like, oh, she's for sure dead. Or, you know.
and I even question whether or not Loon was a low decker, like originally a low decker.
I think maybe she was like passing like the other.
Yeah, I kind of think she was.
Ooh.
And then she ended up, you know, walking on the field deck and pulling the twigs out of her hair.
Oh, that's a good point.
So
I think you're right, Arri.
And that's why Lieutenant is so mad.
You make a good point here, Salter. With that's one reason why Giselle didn't want to go back, even though she did what she did in that situation, and just totally escalated it way past what it needed to be. However, I feel like, Aster should have known that it was going to go down like that and just should have taken her the damn food. I feel like
there's
I don't know.
so many layers. I mean, we could probably spend hours like picking this apart. It's just so many layers. Oh, what did I do?
Oh man, I accidentally hit back sometimes and turn my camera off a lot.
So, what? Anything else y'all want to talk about?
The ending made me think of Hosier's song "In a Week." Have any of you heard that song? It's really daunting, and it's about just like death. But like the very last page just strongly made me think of that song. So if anyone in the comments has heard it and you think that too.
What is it called again?
In a Week, I'm pretty sure. Let me Google it to make sure because I'm really bad with song titles.
Yeah, I see it come up.
Who sings it?
Hosier?
I like him, but I don't remember hearing that.
My sister is obsessed with him, so that's why I thought of it. But it's like a really chilling song. It's really beautiful, but just the very like last page, I just had that song playing in my head.
Interesting.
No, I don't think
so.
Aster's too stubborn to die.
Right? Yeah, that's like the opposite of Giselle, where Giselle is like, you can't take me alive. And she's like, bitch, I will never die. So you're just going to have to deal with me. Deal with it.
I feel like Aster is going to outlive everybody.
Well, I mean, she can. She's on an Earth. She's on Earth or an Earth-like planet. And
she knows enough about
plants. Say again?
She knows enough about plants.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. And she's got a botanarium.
I mean, if it's a different planet, it's hard to it's so different. Like the fact that there are plants at all on a different planet, different DNA or different structure, it's who knows if it's even edible. I mean, it's assuming it's carbon based. It's a lot more to dig into there on how likely that she would survive on a different planet. Although I think we're supposed to believe that she does, that the plants there are habitable, edible.
I think she would figure it out.
Yeah, definitely.
She would totally figure it out, whether or not she could eat this particular thing or. So in our first live, when I first did this with Shane and Wendy, we talked about the end, and Sarah said that I was being a little conspiratorial, and I mean I'm okay with that because this does lead to conspiracy theories. So, because I was like, okay, Aster goes to a new planet or Earth, whatever, and she's like, she has the bones of her mother, and she's got Giselle's body. And just not Giselle, but Aster is already looked at as being kind of manly, or manly, because of her body structure and whatever. And I was like, so is Aster like the new Adam?
How though? I mean, how would she replicate?
Really? Are we going there? I don't know.
I mean,
Right? That was probably like a running theme, though.
So if we're talking about religion,
I
there
see
was
where you're going.
exactly.
I suppose.
Because Theo was like feminine side of that. Like they called him I forget what they kept calling him. But yeah.
So
I left my tinfoil hat upstairs.
But assuming that Theo and some of the rest of them end up figuring out how to get fuel for the escape pods, and they do make it back, it could possibly turn out that way. They might be the ones to start a new civilization. Maybe.
Does she want to have children?
She doesn't have a uterus anymore.
She has hysterectomy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So she could probably build a external uterus or something between her and Theo, where she doesn't have to be penetrated, like she said. No, we're doing a whole. We're just remaking the wheel, basically. You know.
It's
I can see it. Listen, I'm about to turn my camera off and go get my tinfoil hat in a minute if you keep going. I will.
I'd rather imagine that the ship already has some sort of external incubation machine in this far future, and that they make use of that.
They were going to reanimate the bodies. They probably do. Was that this book? Yeah. In the beginning, they were going to reanimate them.
Mm-hmm.
So and it's just Aster. I mean, if anybody can figure it out, Aster.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
About to start installing uteruses and stuff.
Can you imagine they get there and there are all these petri dishes of little embryos of Aster embryos.
That's interesting.
Oh, no.
I'm of the opinion that if they don't come to the planet, she's just going to live out her life there by herself, isolated and alone.
Yeah.
That was honestly how I saw it.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? We talked about quarantine being very isolating and stuff like that, and it is. But Aster is the type of person that is okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
And she probably will not go stir crazy. She will revel in going in this entire botanarium and being able to walk and see the sun and the stars and just be perfectly happy and probably be mad as hell when other people show up.
Yeah.
Or what if there are like living entities on the planet that she landed on? Like, what if she really isn't alone? She has to explore a little bit, and then some beings are like, "Oh, hey."
Yeah.
What if they only told them they were the last ones?
Like in a emergency skin.
Hold up, because y'all. I'm going to get my hat. Y'all trip.
I think it makes more sense that there would be some entities there than her trying to replicate on her own. That's more logical.
Like, especially if it is habitable, there's probably something there. Maybe.
Probably. I mean,
plant life is complex life. So.
It's true.
Maybe they lied and said they were the last ones. Everybody on the Matilda were the last humans alive, but there were some, small group of people who didn't catch the ship and are still down there and surviving and pretty much thriving and all of that. Maybe.
It's clearly a classist system, so it's easy to understand how you can come from a classist world that basically left a lot of people behind.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Love the tinfoil hat.
I think y'all on to something. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
I love that.
Emergency Skin gave me that idea by N.K. Jemisin.
Yes,
it's such
you
a
haven't
short
read
book
it. Read
so
it.
wild. Yeah, it's so good.
It's so good. It's like 30 pages of.
Yeah.
I have it downloaded and I haven't read it yet. I feel like I need to.
Before the pandemonium.
We got a lot of time in this panty raid.
Oh my god. I know people are like, oh, this pandemic is like, I can't wait to get out. And I'm like, gosh, I can't wait to stay in.
Me too. I'm all about this in the house life. I really am.
And
right.
And who would have thunk it that living your life on your couch would be a thing and be okay? I mean, like introverts have been doing that for eons.
Josh, I just want you to thank you for the theory. I just really I'm thank you. Because that was on.
Wait,
I'm gonna be reading those last 2 pages like Josh was on it. Josh was on it.
Josh is always on it. He's always got something.
I mean, it's why I like science fiction. If it's really good, it'll get you imagining about all the different possibilities.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Is there fanfic out for this?
There's gotta be.
Come on now.
I'm pretty sure there is.
It's gotta be, right?
What did you like?
Honestly,
what did you?
It would be a crime if there wasn't.
Fan fiction.
Oh, fan fiction.
So like, I haven't read it, but I think maybe Erica, did you read Escaping Exodus?
I did.
Ashley and them. Okay, so that one's like these huge animals of some sort, right?
Yeah,
floating through the galaxy.
Mm-hmm. They're like galaxy bugs.
Okay.
That I don't want to say hollow out, but for lack of a, they live within, and the humans are basically parasites to this bug, and so they're like slowly killing the beast. They call it a space beast or something like that. But they are slowly killing it, and the one that they end up in just so happens to be pregnant. So they're trying to kill the baby because if the baby stays alive, then it's going to take up too much energy. So, and it's just a whole. It says something about. It's an indictment, I feel like, on global warming and other things that we as humans have done to the planet and what we continue to do, reaping its resources without giving anything back, and just keep moving on. So
that's interesting.
Yeah,
I was thinking of like how this. I don't spoil anything, but like in my mind, just knowing that that's part of that book, I'm wondering like, okay, how did they get on this beast, and how did they get it? How does it move, and who's driving, and all these things? I thought that. Speaking of that, there's one more thing I do want to talk about. I thought that whole black hole and the magnets and the autopilot. I thought all of that was really clever. Because y'all know I was like, who's driving this thing? Like,
Yeah.
I want to know who is in control of this path and how did they figure this out? That wherever they're going. Um, so yeah, I have that same question about escaping Exodus.
Yeah. So Salter, Escaping Exodus, there's actually a second book just came out for that.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah,
it should
recently.
I haven't read it yet. Chloe from Thistle and Burst has read it and she reviewed it on her channel. So I recommend checking that out because it's a good review. But yeah, I enjoyed Escaping Exodus, and I need to read it again because it's not as complex as this, but it is a little bit because it hits so many different topics that you have to pay attention to and digest. So yeah,
Have you read anything else by Nikki Drayton?
no.
I was just wondering, like, because I tried to read Temper by them, and I'm
Mhm.
not sure if it was a me thing or if it was a writing. I just didn't enjoy their writing.
Mhm.
I'm not sure which one it was because I know I was going through like a little fantasy slump or something. Maybe I've been a little burnt out at the time,
Mhm.
so I didn't DNF it forever, but I definitely put it down after like 60 or 80 pages, and I
I
didn't know.
I started reading Temper, but then I started reading something else. So I know
Yeah, I'm not sure if that was me or the book.
yeah, I don't know, but I liked their writing in Escaping Exodus.
Okay.
So I mean they're two different
They're
books.
way different. Yeah, I get
Um
a more fantasy from Temper than
I think so.
sci-fi. Yeah.
Yeah. And but I didn't know they have a pretty I think they have Nikki Drayden has like 3 or 4 books.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Um
Maybe one of
so
them might be a novella though. I think maybe.
yeah. Um like their very first work or something like that.
Yeah.
Is really I think is really short. But you can I would imagine that you could see the progression, hopefully. I haven't since I think Temper first? I don't know.
It might have been actually. I feel like that might have been their debut, and then maybe the next thing was a novella or something like that. I feel like they have a novella in their bibliography somewhere.
Um so I'm up
I
here.
just looked at it when I went upstairs to get my hat, and I should have kept it.
So let's see. Does
Am I missing
anybody
any comments, y'all? Because I know
yeah.
how it lags a little.
Or does anybody have anything else they want to add?
I think the use of water or the discussion of water is really interesting in all of River's works or the works that I've read, like The Deep, obviously that's centered around water. And I can't remember if that one short story, the blood is
Blood,
Blood.
yeah.
for hunger, something like that. I can't
I
remember if it was a
don't
water reference, but the story about like Little Silver and the king and the water like spirits, I just find that interesting that that's commonly in River Solomon's writing, and that I know that like a lot of African traditions or a lot of stories or mythology or religion, whatever, always tends to speak about water or spirits in the water or any kind of reference to water. So I find that fascinating that that's in that, and that was referenced in a book that's in space. Like, you know,
yeah.
Aster's not dreaming by a lake and then reflecting on the story. And the fact that that is just kind of thrown in there was really interesting. Also, that Little Silver story was very interesting as well.
Yeah.
Sudden.
They're always such little nuggets in their books and their stories. And they just it's like I feel like they're just casually thrown in. and you as the reader have to connect the dots, which I love. And just to be like, oh, and having read it several times now, and still finding these little nuggets, and still like, what? I can't believe this.
Oh yeah.
You guys did a great job hosting this, and I never want to do all the work you guys did. Well, thank you, Salter. I appreciate it. Or we appreciate it. It was fun. This was really fun.
It really was. I loved this.
Y'all really enhanced my reading experience. Not that I needed any help enjoying River Solomon's writing, but like just talking about some of the stuff, because being Team Giselle with y'all, you know who you are. That was so fun, and
It really was. This was great.
Yeah. So click on Salter's comment. I put Ashley to shame. No,
above it.
Above it.
Sorry.
Oh wait,
Above it. Oh my god, Ashley isn't even here.
She can't defend herself. I'm gonna tell her I'm snitching right now.
Oh god. And
Y'all trying to get stitches out here in these streets.
Pull up. I don't care.
Don't worry about it. This lives on forever on the internet.
Yeah.
We should have taken a screenshot of that and sent it to Ashley.
Like I'm doing.
That's what Deidra did. She took a
So you're like, nobody, it's no rumors. You know where it came from, Salter, which people love.
It was all on Salter, who we used to think was a troll.
The origin story.
Talk about origin stories. Oh gosh. And on Ashley's channel, she was like, "Are you a troll? You about to get blocked."
Yeah.
And that night, she was having to block so many accounts. Like, that was the wildest live I've ever been on, with how many, like, troll accounts were popping in that one.
Oh, man.
So, yeah.
But if Salter is a troll, at least he's consistent.
Hey, yeah.
At least he reads the book.
He reads the book, and he's participatory.
Listen, you know something. We here.
Not during this Panera bread.
Sandwich, no. And bring not the treasure, no.
Oh my gosh, it is crazy. So,
okay.
Do you guys have anything that you want to wrap up with? Because I think we can wrap up.
Who plans to read Sorrowland? ASAP or like later?
It comes out May 4th.
Yeah.
So I've equated it. That's my sister's birthday.
Okay.
And that is my present to myself.
I don't think I'll do it. I appreciate it. So I thought it was
my sister does that too on my birthday.
My copy is coming from the UK, so I don't know when that's gonna come. And also, we are doing the Broken Earth trilogy thing, so I might be like going back and forth between the two books.
Yeah.
I need to read the last book, so I should just wait for y'all to get to it, or us to get to it, because I'm going to volunteer as tribute to participate in that one too.
So are you saying that
technically we're not officially announcing it yet, but yeah, I have all the information.
Okay.
We have a timeline.
Together. Okay.
So does anybody have anything that they want to plug? Deidra, y'all got romance?
We do. I'm trying to convert folks, me and Ashley, over on the Now That's Black Love. But the full name is That's What I Call Black Love. It's about Black love and Black romance. That's our channel. We're doing that together. Um, we're trying to do a new episode or installment every week. I missed my last episode because I had a lot going on in life, but we do a live show on the 13th of every month, no matter what day of the week that falls on, unless otherwise announced. And we're just going to be discussing different topics within that wheelhouse. So last couple episodes we've been talking about publishing, specifically how it relates to romance and blackness and just like public like imprints and different things that have focused on those historically and just the state of what's out there right now. That's just what we've been talking about recently. I missed my deep dive into how some of them are connected and all of that, but I'm going to get that up pretty soon. The next one will be up. Ashley just put up one yesterday that I haven't watched yet because life. But yeah, that's all I got to promote.
Emmarae, you got anything?
Yeah, my newest video on my channel is about why I was homeschooled.
I saw that.
And it's a very traumatic story, but you know, we can laugh and smile about it now. So if you're interested in that, head on over. I basically escaped a racist teacher. So
Yeah, I saw that. And I was like, as an educator, a former educator going back into education, I was like, really? I wanted to like find your teacher and just give her a beat down.
oh, same.
Same. I really did. So kudos to your mom for doing what she did, right?
She rock star.
Yeah. So, Josh.
What? I mean, it's just my channel.
You mean Samantha Karen wanted to get beat up in the hallway?
Sorry, Josh. We're not laughing at you. This is
So sorry.
Okay, I thought you all looked at me.
not you, Josh.
No, sorry.
I mean, my channel is just my channel. I like to read a lot of science fiction. So if you like the science fiction, I read other science fiction. I also read regular science, like nonfiction science. This isn't real science, and other stuff too. But if you're into science fiction, check out my channel. I don't really have a lot of discussion videos. Generally, I just talk about books. So
That's discussion.
yeah, but I don't know. When I try and like do tags that are out talking about general things, like I get really anxious about what I want to say. It's easy to talk about books because it's just like what I feel.
It's weird talking out into the abyss.
Yeah,
It really is. It really
very
is.
weird.
So,
Definitely.
Arri, you have something in the works that's not official. Did you want to talk about
Well,
it?
I have a tour stop for the Ivies, and I am also going to do a review of Emmarae and the Night Brothers. I just haven't gotten to, actually sit and do it yet. So that'll be up probably before the end of the week.
Okay. Well, I've got nothing.
But that's not true.
So I have just not been in a video filming mood.
Hey.
Okay, but you got something coming. That's not true.
Oh, yeah. Are you talking about the thing with you? Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah. So Deidra and I reached out to Deidra because she absolutely loves the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn.
Child.
So, yeah, we are are working on something with the Adventures of Huckleberry Finn and what is it, The Bluest Eye?
Yeah.
Yeah. And this, I don't know, Emmarae, if you wanted to do like a video on this, but Emmarae and I are going to be swapping books.
Oh yeah.
Y'all need
And
to do a video.
yeah,
We should,
I'll be
yeah.
ready.
so yeah, so there are some fun things that are coming. I'm
Yeah.
just not,
See, you got
like-
stuff.
and
Oh, yeah,
I'm also reading one of Emmarae's worst books this month, and I am like absolutely don't want to read it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say you were loving it.
No. I absolutely don't want to read it. I see the cover and I'm like, this looks like a snooze fest. So what are you gonna say, Arri?
I was planning a few months ago to do a video where my partner chose my TBR, and I forgot about it and then started doing other stuff and reading the slow read and everything. So probably June, I will be doing that video where she's going to get my TBR together for Pride Month.
Okay,
So,
Nice.
that sounds cool.
Exciting.
so
Yeah.
we'll see.
Okay. So, if nothing else, all announcements are done. We will wrap it up, and I appreciate everybody. And we'll figure out Sorrowland later. And I will not do 2 live streams a week for it.
Right?
Uno.
That was rough.
Yeah.
So yeah. So yeah, we'll check back for Sorrowland. I'm gonna be in these comments giving out burns and book tea. You know what, Salter? Deidra has control over my channel right now.
I do.
But we can't be giving out burns and book tea.
I like it.
So yeah, we will we can do another Discord. I like the Discord actually.
Me too.
Yeah.
I love Discord.
You just rename it.
Yeah.
And people can leave.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm so mean. I don't mean it the way it sounds, y'all.
I wasn't mean. No, yeah.
Okay.
You don't have to make a new one. You know,
Yeah.
we're all
I mean,
there.
I don't mean it. I don't mean it the way it sounds.
Because actually, that's what I was thinking about doing. Deleting all the content.
You don't have to delete it. Just make a new channel and
make
minimize
talking
it.
points.
Yeah, that's true too. So, but yeah, so we'll do that and we'll check in for that.
Does this mean we're reading Sorrowland in May?
Probably not, because my book is coming from Blackwell's in the UK.
Mine is too.
So
Okay. Well, I'm not going to wait that long.
what?
I'm not going to wait till May.
You have the art.
Well,
though.
it comes out in May 4th.
I know. I need to get it sooner.
Oh, okay.
I pre-ordered it, so I don't know how soon it'll get here. I got it from Bookshop. I forget what shop I chose, but I pre-ordered it though.
Yeah.
And so I don't know how long it'll take to get.
So,
Got the UK version coming.
and who knows how long that'll take.
Yeah.
But yeah, I want the cover. So
It's so pretty.
the US cover is so
It's so
Yeah.
I felt the same about the Emmarae covers.
the
I
Mars
didn't see the UK one.
yeah. There's the UK cover for Emmarae is slightly different. I think it's more vibrant.
It actually is painted. The pages are actually painted silver.
Oh.
And if you take the like cover off, there's like a really pretty cover underneath the slip cover.
Oh.
I love when they do that. I really
Yeah.
like a hardback that doesn't have a, what do you call it? The dust jacket? Is that what that's
Yeah.
called?
Yeah.
I like it when the hardcover is just printed directly on there. I like that for some reason.
So, Salter, what I'm hearing from you is that you're going to run the Discord?
That's what I heard.
That's what I'm hearing. So, okay.
Oh, that is pretty. Can we end it?
Yep. We are done. So
Okay.
thank y'all for showing up. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being here with us during this time. So if you celebrate Easter, have a good Easter. If you don't, have a good day, period. So bye.
Bye, y'all. Team Giselle forever.
Yep, Team Giselle. That's right.